Welcome to C.S. Lewis Talks. There is something powerful about the presence of a person who walks with God. Without saying a word, without lifting a hand, and without forcing their opinion, they can walk into a room and shift the entire atmosphere. Some people smile when they see them. Others frown, grow tense, or even glare for no reason at all. Why is this? Why does light seem to disturb certain environments? Why does kindness trigger hostility? It's because the presence of God within a believer is not ordinary. It is spiritual. It is eternal. It is powerful. Light always exposes darkness, and those who dwell in the shadows, whether knowingly or unknowingly, feel unsettled when it appears. Part 1. Your presence alone confronts darkness. The presence of a believer is never neutral. When you carry God's Spirit inside you, you carry a light that cannot be ignored. Think of a candle in a pitch-black cave. The moment the flame is lit, shadows flee. Corners once hidden become visible. Darkness doesn't have to agree with the candle. It simply cannot coexist with it. The same thing happens with your presence. Even if you don't preach, argue, or speak, the light inside you shines, and this shining disrupts anything that prefers to remain hidden. In your workplace, colleagues may avoid you or gossip about you without reason. In your family, some relatives may misunderstand you or accuse you of arrogance. In public spaces, strangers may give you looks of disdain, though you've done nothing to provoke them. This is not about you as a human being, it's about the Spirit of God dwelling in you. The atmosphere shifts because His light in you cannot be ignored. Darkness hates exposure. Your presence is evidence that something higher, purer, and more eternal exists. And when that presence shows up, anything false or unclean feels uncomfortable. So when people react negatively to you, don't shrink back. Don't think, what's wrong with me? Instead, remember, it's not me they are resisting, it's the light I carry. Part 2. Light creates an unwanted mirror. Have you ever wondered why kindness can provoke hostility? Why someone who lives with peace, integrity, and humility can still attract resentment? It's because your light is not only a glow, it is a mirror. When you carry joy, those who are bitter feel reminded of what they've lost. When you walk in peace, those who live in turmoil feel convicted. When you live with purpose, those who wander without direction feel exposed. Your life becomes a silent reflection of what is possible when God works in a person's heart. For some, this reflection inspires hope. They think, if God can change them, maybe He can change me too. For others, this same reflection feels unbearable. They think, why don't I have that peace? Why do I feel so empty inside? And instead of seeking healing, they turn their frustration outward at you. But once again, this is not about you personally. It is about the light that makes them see what they would rather avoid. Part 3. The spiritual realm always reacts. Here's a truth many overlook. Human hostility often has a spiritual root. The scriptures remind us that we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against powers and spiritual forces of darkness. This means that when someone glares at you, mocks your faith, or spreads lies, it may look like a human reaction, but spiritually something deeper is happening. Your presence carries divine authority, and unseen forces recognize that authority. Just as they recognized Jesus when He walked the earth, they still recognize His Spirit living in believers today. Think about this. When Jesus approached people possessed by unclean spirits, those spirits reacted instantly. They shouted, trembled, and begged Him not to interfere. Why? Because they knew His presence threatened their control. The same principle applies when you walk into a room. Spiritual darkness cannot remain comfortable around you. The peace, joy, and authority of God inside you stirs agitation in the unseen realm. This is why sometimes conflicts arise suddenly without explanation. A peaceful environment can turn chaotic. A friendly conversation can turn sour. It's not coincidence, it's warfare. Part 4. Some admire your light, others resent it. Here is one of life's paradoxes. The very same light that inspires one person can offend another. Some will see your joy and be drawn to it. They'll ask questions, seek your wisdom, and desire to know what fuels your peace. These people admire the glow in your life because it reminds them of hope they long to experience. Others, however, will feel threatened. They'll accuse you of being proud, self-righteous, or acting like you're better. But the truth is, you don't have to say a word to make them feel this way. Your light silently testifies to a higher standard of life. And for those unwilling to confront their own choices, that silent testimony feels like judgment. Even within admiration, there can be danger. Some may draw near, not because they truly value your light, but because they want to diminish it. They may act supportive outwardly, but subtly discourage your faith, mock your standards, or lure you toward compromise. That's why discernment is so important. Ask God for wisdom to recognize who is genuinely inspired and who is masking resentment behind a smile. Part 5. Your light threatens the enemy's agenda. The enemy thrives in darkness. His strategies depend on secrecy, deception, and distraction. But the moment light enters, his schemes are exposed, lies are revealed, chains are loosened, hope is reborn. This is why opposition against you feels so relentless. It's not simply because of who you are, it's because of what you carry. The light inside you has the power to encourage the hopeless, awaken faith in the weary, bring convicts. Iron to the lost, remind others that truth is alive. This is dangerous to the enemy's agenda. That's why he fights you through misunderstanding, gossip, rejection, and discouragement. If he can't extinguish your flame, he'll try to distract you, weaken you, or convince you to hide your light. But here's the eternal truth. Darkness can never defeat light. No matter how heavy the atmosphere, no matter how strong the opposition, the smallest flame still overpowers the deepest shadow. Practical ways to keep shining. Pray daily. Guard your spirit. Pray not just for yourself, but for those who resist you. Often the hostility you face is a cry for healing they don't know how to express. Stand firm. Don't compromise your values to make others comfortable. Your consistency is your testimony. Respond with grace. When attacked, don't retaliate in bitterness. Answer with kindness. Light never wins by becoming darkness. Discern wisely. Not everyone drawn to you has pure intentions. Ask God for wisdom to recognize who strengthens your light and who drains it. Remember the victory. Opposition is proof of your purpose. Every battle confirms that you are walking in the will of God. Conclusion. You are a vessel of glory. Your presence is not ordinary. It is sacred, it is powerful, and it is necessary. When people misunderstand you, when hostility rises without reason, when the battle feels too heavy, pause and remember, it is not about you. It is about the one who lives in you. Your light is not meant to blend in. It is meant to shine boldly, even in places of resistance. It is a testimony to God's grace and a weapon in this unseen war. So keep shining, keep walking with peace, keep standing firm. The darkness will try to intimidate you, but it cannot win. The victory has already been secured, and every time you step into a room, you carry that victory with you. May your light continue to shine brightly, not for your glory, but for the glory of the one who called you, equipped you, and sent you to be a beacon in this world.